Today, I'm going to share with you how to reconstitute DSIP for restorative sleep. Amazing to pair with CJC 1295 and Ipamorelin. So both at night can really help if you're not sleeping well with menopause and perimenopause. Really reset your circadian sleep rhythm and feel amazing restorative sleep. This particular DSIP is a 5 milligram vial of the powder, and when we reconstitute it, we're going to use 1 ml of the backwater. So just to reiterate, because safety first, we always really want to wipe everything down. I wipe all the surfaces down on both. I'm going to pop the top off this one, and then I'm going to wipe here. So I always use the larger needles for the reconstitution. You could just use your insulin needle and go to 1 ml with it, but I always use the larger ones because many of the peptides I use, I need up to 3 mLs. So again, just to reiterate, on every video that I do on reconstitution, these can be very pressurized. They can create a lot of vacuum and suction. So always pull the plunge out. You have the hole directly in the center, which is in that circle of the rubber stopper. So you want to go directly down into that. That gets you into the water the easiest. Turning it upside down, always depress to get all of the air out. Depress. And then I'm going to pull this to 1 ml. It comes in very quickly. And then I also push back up. I go beyond the 1, and then I push back up to the 1 so that the bottom of that stopper is right at the 1 line. That way, if there's any air in the top of the syringe, it'll dissipate. And that's it. Pulling it out nice and gentle. And we're going to do the same thing when we put it in here. So as a reminder, all peptides are fragile in their makeup, so we don't want to blast them with like a hydrant hose of just tons of water coming down on them. I like to go in the center of the stopper, again, right in the middle where the circle is, and that'll align it properly, angling the needle a little bit towards the wall of the vial, and that way it'll sort of drizzle in. I think I'm going to put my glasses on so I can definitely see this. Okay. Holding your finger here can really help because then this pressure of inside here won't suck the water in quickly. So I just hold my fingers here in order to make sure that the pressure doesn't suck the water in itself. Nice and gentle, I'm going in. Okay. And then I'm angling it down. And I'm going to slowly just drizzle this 1 ml of water in there. Pressing it all the way down. Perfect. And then pulling it out. So the deal here is that you can slowly roll this. You don't want to shake and do anything crazy. Just slowly roll and it will slowly dissolve. And that's really basically it. I let these sit on the counter for a few minutes before I put them in the fridge, but then you can put them in the fridge. One thing that's always a little bit concerning as a consumer is that when you have 1 ml of water, these vials with only 5 and 10 milligrams in them, it looks like so little is in here. They actually do fill the insulin syringes more than you think, but it looks like just such a small amount. And sometimes it is, depending on what you're working towards. With this particular peptide, it's taken at night, and you can basically have a little bit of a range. So typical dosing based on the literature would be anywhere from 100 mcg to 500 mcg a night. Always erring on the side of caution. What I normally do is always do the minimum dose, the smallest amount, and just see how it goes. Obviously, it'll last you longer, and you can make sure that you have a good tolerance to all of the medications before you go more. So in general, probably would end up with maybe around 300 for most people, and it's taken as needed, or you could take it for several nights in a row, or until you reset your sleep rhythm and get kind of more situated with having a good restorative sleep and getting out of a bad pattern. So that's really it. DSIP, amazing for sleep. And I know when we're in menopause, man, it's horrible waking up at 2 o'clock and not going back to bed. Pairing it with CJC 1295 with Ipamorelin is a game changer, also for your skin and everything else. So it does have other properties as well, but mostly known for the sleep. Okay, hope that was helpful. Have a great day.